This Israelite World News Kentucky 8 podcast, where we go over the big stories that concern Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. This is under the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commander General Yohana. All right, start out of 1 West on 25th Street, Harlem, New York. Let's get the first story up here. Uh, right here, man. Look what's going on with our people. Look what they're doing to our people. Black man who said he suffered attempted lynching in Indiana last year now facing charges related to the incident. Now, they tried to, I remember this, there was footage. It was about three white guys and a white girl had this brother pinned to a tree. All right. And they were trying to get the rope out. But some of his white friends had cameras out. So they kind of made them stop what they were doing. But they were trying to tell them to get out of there so they get to leave, basically to leave their friend with them, like pinned up against the tree, so they could try to lynch him, hang his ass. Now it turns out he might be getting, now he's look like he's getting charged for attacking them, even though they tried to lynch him. This is America. America's trying to tell you that they hate you. America's trying to tell you that, look, you have nothing to do with us. Many of you might remember the story of Vox Booker, a black man in Indiana who said he suffered an attempted lynching. When five white men, and two of whom had been charged with multiple felonies, accused him of trespassing on land he said he didn't know they owned. There you go, man, being out with these devils. The incident, which happened just south of Bloomington near Lake Monroe, was partially captured in cell phone videos that show one man pinning Booker to a tree while he's down on his hands and knees, and while bystanders repeatedly demand the man let him go. Unfortunately, this story has taken a wrong turn towards Caucasityville, and more than a year after the incident, Booker is facing charges of his own. Charges he and his attorney says are not about justice, but all about retaliation. There's nothing more American than charging a black man in his own attempted lynching, Booker said at a recent news conference. And he's right. That is the history of America. That is what America is built and founded on. That is what the founding fathers fought for. That's what the Revolutionary War was about. That's what the Civil War was about. That's what the Civil Rights War was about. That's what Black Lives Matter is about. America has always been about trying to kill and murder and do wrong towards blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. This hasn't changed. Just because we're in a new year doesn't mean there's new people. These are the same devils. These are their children, their offspring. They have the same spirit as their fathers. According to the Washington Post, Monroe County Special Prosecutor Sonia Learcamp charged Booker with felony assault and misdemeanor trespassing Friday in connection with July 4th, 2020 altercation. And I'm going to tell you, down there in Bloomington, they're extremely racist. I went to college down there in Bloomington, Indiana, at Indiana University, and they're extremely racist. So this doesn't surprise me not one bit. But I'll tell you what, you wouldn't catch me out in the forest with these fucking devils. That's what this brother was. He thought he was with his white friends having a walk in the park out into some strange forest somewhere. You wouldn't catch me out there because these devils are murderers, man. Attorney Catherine Lell called the move unprecedented and said Learcamp has presented no new evidence regarding the case since July of last year. I've been practicing well over 30 years in this state, and I have never seen a special prosecutor open a new case and file charges a year later, Lell said. The Post reports. They'll open up a new case for a black man. If it's about the murder of a black man, they'll open up a new case. They're fine with that. They'll open up 10 new cases. They'll open up 1 million new cases. If it's about destroying a black man, they'll open up the case, no matter how much time later. Booker said he and his attorney believe Learcamp is retaliating over his refusal to engage a mediated resolution with the two men arrested in his assault. Booker said Monday that he declined to do so because he'd have to sign a confidentiality agreement and publicly forgive the men. Why the fuck would he have to forgive them? He shouldn't have signed that. Whose charges would be dropped. Yes, exactly. For the entire year, the special prosecutor has pressured and bullied me at every turn that if I didn't engage with the restorative justice, if I didn't let charges be dismissed, that she would charge me, Booker said. It wasn't out of any new evidence or any shocking revelations. It was simply that, once again, a black person telling a white person no, and they were going to punish me. So this is the part where I talk about the power of whiteness. Imagine escaping what you believe to be an attempted lynching and being told your pain and trauma doesn't matter, and you either sit down and sing kumbaya with your attackers so they can be let off the hook, or you'll be facing criminal charges right along with them. Now, it has taken the outrageous step of charging Booker, the victim, as a felon. He faces up to 3.5 years in prison and $15,000 in fines for being subjected to a racist assault. Once again, where's the NAACP? Where's the Black Civil Rights Union and the Civil Rights Movement people? Where the fuck are they at? They should be out here trying to defend this brother, but they're nowhere to be found. That's the problem. This system is race. This systematic racism in action at every step. Loftman continued. White officers and white special prosecutor give white folks the benefit of the doubt and all of the sympathy. Booker and his attorneys also claim the responding officers broke protocol by questioning Booker's alleged assailants on what happened before bothering to speak to the alleged victim. Of course, they see whites trying to kill a black man, they go talk to the whites first. Wish TV, the Indiana Department of Natural Resources, which investigated the incident, did initially call for Booker to be charged along with his alleged assailants. Booker's attorney said investigators found that Booker punched one of the men after he pushed him, and that it shows Booker acted in self-defense. However, Booker said he never punched anyone, even after being pushed, and that what actually happened is he was attacked from behind after walking away from the push. This has been humiliating and defeating, Booker said during the news conference. I had just moved to a new city. I was looking forward to starting a new job, to moving forward with my life, and I am dragged back into this moment. For some folks, it was a year ago. For me, it has happened every day. But despite how disheartened Booker said he feels, he also said that there's no way in hell he's going to buckle under the pressure of Learcamp is applying. I don't care if she wants to drag me. This is the right spirit right here. I don't care if she wants to drag me back into the hanging tree herself. I'm not going to back down from this, he said. I'm not going to just let these folks go on about their lives like they didn't victimize me, like their crime didn't impact an entire community. I'm going to stand up for myself. Booker's legal team said they are demanding the charges against their client be dropped and that Learcamp step down. They said they will be file pleadings to challenge the charges, Booker's September 13th court date. Meanwhile, Sean Purdy and Jerry Edward Cox, the two men who are accused of attacking Booker and are facing felony charges, including criminal confinement, battery, and intimidation, are due back in Monroe Circuit Court on August 20th. That's good to hear, man. That's good to hear. Step up against these devils, man. Don't let them devils try what they did to you and think they're going to get away with it. Don't fall for it, man. Don't let these devils push you back into a corner. Hey, shalom, sis. These devils tried to lynch this black man. And he's not going to let, and they try to actually make him dismiss the charges and put a gag order that he can't talk about it and apologize to his fucking attackers. It don't get no more racist than that. What America court system is trying to is telling you, black people, that you matter not, that your life doesn't matter, that you should be charged for not getting killed. Basically, they want you dead. America wants you dead, black people. time to fight back. It's time to get right with the Most High. Don't let this shit stand. This brother's doing the right thing by not dropping those charges. He could be saving another brother's life. You understand? And they could be trying to lynch another person. This is what we got to go through here in this kingdom. This is what we have to go through in this place. It's time to pray to the Most High. Let the Most High give us justice. Let the Most High give us freedom. Let the Most High get us up out of this captivity. Let the Most High get us up out of this hellhole called America. Let the Most High destroy and rain down judgment on these heathens. Don't join them. Separate from them. Separate from them. And see them and their kingdom fall. It's not time to join these people. It's not time for these people to be your friends. You go to work with them, that's fine. As soon as work is over, leave them. Go with your people. Get with the Israelite school, the UPK. Learn about your own people's history. All right. Let's get this next story. Critical race theory has its day in court. A judge on the U.S. Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals wrote a stinging opinion against so-called equity. Last month, a U.S. Fifth Circuit Court decision reinstated part of a lawsuit by a black property owner in Texas who claims that a harbor expansion project has used coercive means to obtain property in the East End, which is a historically black neighborhood. In a concurrent opinion, Trump-appointed Judge James C. Ho took aim at the basic premise adopted by critical race theory's advocates. So they're just trying to screw black people over in the courts in every way possible. They don't give a damn. They're trying to screw over black people every way possible in these courts. As a July Washington Examiner editorial observed, some may obscure the decision of critical race theory, particularly its effects on society. But Judge Ho struck at the heart of the national debate and drew a clear distinction between equality of outcome and equality of opportunity. He writes, there's a big difference between prohibiting racial discrimination and endorsing disparate impact theory. It's the difference between securing equality of opportunity regardless of race and guaranteeing equality of outcome based on race. It's the difference between color blindness and critical race theory. Oh yeah, Judge Ho, appointed by the racist himself, Donald Trump. Sure, you're gonna be unbiased and unracist? Ha, sure. Judge Ho wrote his opinion at a time when race-neutral policies which safeguard against discrimination have come increasingly under fire. As I wrote last month, both excuse me, both the Boston Public Schools and the Fairfax County Public Schools removed their race-neutral standardized admissions tests for their specialized secondary schools, resulting in decreased Asian American admissions. They're racist all across the board. And in 2020, California state lawmakers placed Proposition 16 on the ballot, which would have repealed the well-known anti-discrimination measures in Proposition 209. So they're trying to get rid of everything that's anti-discrimination. So they're trying to bring back discrimination. It did have the backing of established Democrat politicians and received $31 million from liberal donors. Now even the liberals are getting back to racism. Not that they ever left, but they fooled us into thinking they left, or fooled blacks in the world, not the Israelite School UPK. We don't trust a damn politician. But they done fooled the masses. The leading self-proclaimed voice of anti-racism himself has repeatedly slammed race-neutral policies. As Kendi argued how to be an anti-racist, the most threatening racist movement is not the alt-right's unlikely drive for a white ethno state, but the regular Americans drive for a race neutral one. Contrary to the Judge Ho emphasized the purpose of the Civil Rights Act in his opinion. On race neutral policies, he said Congress enacted the Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 to prohibit intentional racial discrimination, not to restrict neutral policies untainted by racial intent that happen to lead to racial disproportionate outcomes. Basically, it's another way of them to bring back racism. That's all it's about. It's all about just bringing back racism. It ain't got shit to do with nothing. They're trying to confuse you with big words. It's about being racist. Now, equitable policies have previously been successfully challenged in the courts. However, Judge Ho's opinion is notable because it establishes a clear dichotomy between the aspirations of the Civil Rights Act and those of Kendi and his followers who believe the only remedy to racist discrimination is anti-racist discrimination. Ho does so directly by comparing Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech. Judge Ho's concurrence may be the first step towards equity's judicial reckoning. Those of us attacked for speaking out for equality without regard to skin color will be vindicated, and those demanding race-based outcomes will be shamed. If more judges view equity as the perverse discrimination it really is, then critical race theory will indeed have its day in court, and it will be exposed for the sham that it is. There you go. They're trying to say it's a sham. They're trying to say, oh, you have equality. You're just not going to get equality of outcomes. You're just going to get equality of opportunity, which means, yeah, you all can apply for the job, but we're not about to make sure a certain amount of blacks get the job. That's not our job. Your job is you just have an opportunity. That's what they're trying to push it to. Basically bringing back all the discrimination that they uh, that they got rid of through ensuring that the outcomes are not discriminated against, because that's what we're going against. Yeah, you can all apply for the job, but they're only hiring 100%. That's the problem. That's the problem. They're trying to get rid of it and say, no, you should all be able to apply, but we should not force a certain amount of blacks to be hired. We should let that fall where it lay. We should let you just have the opportunity. That's what they're trying to push. Not trying, that's what they are pushing. They're trying to take away every civil right anti-discrimination law that our ancestors fought for. And this is the problem. They're gonna succeed. If they give you the rights, guess what? They can take it away. That's why we don't trust in America. That's why we don't trust in the white man's system. That's why we teach our people to trust in the Most High. Get right with the Lord. Come serve the Lord with your brothers in the Israelite school of UPK. Pay your tithes. 10% of all money you earn go to the men of the Lord. Go to ishbk.com. Pay your tithes. You make $100, put $10 on the school. Forget that. Put $20 on the school. Support the truth. Show the Lord that it's time for us to get up out of this place and be ourselves and be our own nation again. Show the Lord that we are worthy. Show the Most High this through your actions, through your words, through your belief, through your fruits, man. We only got a little bit of time left in this empire. It's time to get right. It's high time to wake up out of sleep. All right, lay up your folly ground and wake the hell up. Put away all your works of darkness and come into the light. And what is the light? The truth of the scriptures, the truth of the Israelite school of UPK that we're teaching. That the white man is the devil the Bible speaks of. And that it's our turn to rule this planet. Join us in classes Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Go to I Should BK Indianapolis on YouTube and I Should BK Indiana on Facebook. Check our classes, learn, build your spirit up in the Most High, in the way of the Most High. Don't allow for this kingdom to beat you down. You understand? You're going to build yourself up through the spirit of the Most High in Christ. Brotherhood, sisterhood, all these things is what give us our strength. Joining together as a people. That's why there's no such thing as a good lone wolf Israelite. You walk alone and you're alone. How can you love your neighbor as you love yourself if you're alone? You understand? You can't serve the Most High by yourself. We have to get out of this thing as a nation. We came in it as a nation, and we're going to get out of it as a nation. Nothing in between. It's time to wake up out of sleep, man. It's time to get right with the Most High. It's time to show your people the truth. This is how you do it. Come to the Israelite School UPK classes. Pay your tithes. Meet the brothers. Bring food to the table. Bring all these things. Bring it all to the storehouse of the Lord. So we can feed our people with it. So we can house our people with it. So we can show our people the right things that they should know. We got school here in Indianapolis, Indiana, 3532 North Keystone Avenue. Come to class. This is what they're doing in the world. They're trying to bring back all the extreme racist policies that our forefathers had to fight through. From charging a brother for a crime for not forgiving these devils for trying to lynch him, all the way to trying to repeal all the anti-discrimination laws that are on the books. All the way to the Supreme Court is making a ruling and saying on it. The Supreme Court has a saying, making a saying on it. Look at this. Next, let's get this last story. Governor pardons St. Louis couple who pointed guns at Black Lives Matter protesters. It's got the video right here.
National headlines after guns at protesters. Tonight, Mark and Patricia McCloskey pleading guilty to misdemeanor charges.
I don't know if you remember this couple right here.
Waving an AR-15 and a handgun at protesters
pointing
going by
guns
their
at
home.
black people.
Both receiving fines. The weapons used will be surrendered and destroyed.
Yeah. They
President Biden
received pardons for deathly threatening a group of people, a group of peaceful protesters. Missouri Governor Parson announced Tuesday that he had pardoned Mark and Patricia McCloskey, the St. Louis couple who were charged with waving guns at a group of Black Lives Matter protesters outside their home last year. McKinney was holding a semi-automatic rifle while his wife was holding a handgun as a group of protesters passed by their house. The couple were filmed shouting, "Get out," to the crowd, but there was no physical confrontation between them and the protesters. They contend they were protecting their property during the protest. Several prominent conservative leaders, including President Donald Trump, defended the couple. The McCloskeys were guest speakers at the 2020 Republican National Convention. Now, look at the difference here. Look at their leaders compared to our leaders. They get charged for doing a crime against black people. Their leaders come out and support them and parade them and take care of them. But when black people stand up for black people, our leaders do nothing. Our leaders don't do shit. We got people in the White House. We got black leaders in Congress. None of them pardon not one Black Lives Matter protester. Ain't pardon not one black man who was unjustly prosecuted. They ain't do nothing. But these white leaders doing all type of things for their white people, even though they're criminals and a bunch of murderous bastards who did crimes right here, pointing guns at innocent people. The couple pleaded guilty to misdemeanor assault and harassment charges. They surrendered their weapons and was fined $2,000, while her husband was fined $750. Yeah, because she's pointing a damn gun all the way at the people. While the judge asked McCloskey if he acknowledged that his actions put people at risk of personal injury, McCloskey replied, "I sure did, Your Honor." Look at it. It's complete defiance that he committed a crime. He's saying, "I did it and I'm proud of it." After the hearing, he said he'd do it again. Anytime the mob approaches me, I'll do what I can to put them in an imminent threat of physical injury because that's what kept them from destroying my house and my family, he said. And this is total bullshit because nobody's house was destroyed on his freaking block at all. He said the couple and the governor didn't immediately provide statements about the pardons. Like I said, they don't need to provide a statement. They're gonna let their own go free. They're gonna let their own go free. They're gonna let their people go free and get off with crimes that they done, man. This is what we're up against. You go outside and point a gun at somebody, you're not going to get no presidential pardon. If that was black people that pointed guns at white people protesting, he wouldn't got no presidential pardon. It's all about race, man. It's all about race. What race you are, and how far you're willing to go for your race, and who else is willing to fight with you for your race. Like Captain Kahan Thumyad always says, there's only one card, and that's the race card. And it trumps everything else. You know what I mean? It's time to get right, man. Israelite School UPK, Kentucky A Podcast. Check us out. Subscribe to ISUPK Indianapolis and ISUPK Indiana on Facebook, ISUPK Indianapolis on YouTube. Learn the truth. Go to ISUPK.com for more info to pay your tithes. Get right with the Lord. With that said, shalom.